The truth is, you really can't trust anybody at all, because everybody has some kind of an agenda, and maybe the best you can hope for is to find someone else who has an agenda which aligns with your own. And none of us are really exempt from being influenced by our own personal motives. But I think it's important for us to acknowledge that and be open about it to ourselves, instead of acting as if we're somehow maybe better than the instinct which actually exists within each of us. We like to look back on ancient history, and we think that the people who lived in those times long ago were somehow inferior to us. We like to think that we've evolved somehow, that maybe genetically or mentally or physically we're a better breed than those people who made terrible mistakes, who harmed each other and fell prey to extreme ignorance long ago. But we really are very much the same as we always have been. It's true that technology has changed our place in the world. It's true that we've, as a human race, made great strides to places where we've never been before. And yet the truth is, there really isn't anything fundamentally different about who we are today versus what we were before. We're still capable of the same barbarism, of the same ignorance, of the same shameful behaviors. So, I tend to feel concerned when I see so many people act as if they have a moral high ground at the expense of someone else. I tend to feel concerned when I see people so arrogant, so firm in their belief that they have the capacity to be fundamentally good. When I load up my YouTube, I see all sorts of polarizing content creators. There's people telling you about how to prep for World War III. There's people telling you about why some balance changes in a recent video game patch are game breaking and the end of the world for the genre. There's people trying to make videos that will get them clicks and views, showing off skateboard jumps, and people staging acts of charity, showing off that they helped an old lady across the street, or showing that they gave some homeless people $50 out of the goodness of their heart, or something like that, because they want to garner the recognition and approval of people who watch their videos. There's so many different things out there that fall under the banner of content creation. Everyone seems to have their own thing that they do. And I wouldn't say that those things are necessarily entirely fake. Most people who are good content creators, at least, are producing legitimate content. And yet the reality is everyone's trying to pander to an audience. Everyone is trying to do something that's going to align with an agenda that they have. So if someone says, I'm here to try to help you, the reality is they're trying to get something out of it for themselves. It's like these videos I've seen of a nice girl who lives in a quiet, peaceful, serene place, not connected to technology. And she publishes these beautiful videos of nature landscapes and her minimalist lifestyle. And they're very pleasant videos, and I like them. And yet I also know that editing videos is not an easy, quick activity. Creating videos which have a high quality of editing takes time. A high production value isn't something that you can just snap your fingers in the woods and do real quick. It takes effort. It takes time. Many of the shots require someone else to be present and supportive and involved to get the right angles and to put all the pieces together to create a finished video that viewers are going to want to watch. So I see this story about someone living a minimalistic life, disconnected from all technology and not worrying about impressing other people. Publishing videos that clearly take a lot of effort, equipment, technology, and support to publish, garnering a lot of likes and views and clicks. So the reality is very different than what that person is portraying. I see people publishing videos about global conflict and preparing for a world war. Prepper channels. And on one hand, they would say that they're there to inform people and to help people. But the reality is, it's very alluring to have hundreds of thousands of subscribers who will jump at your next upload so that they can hear your newest report of doom and gloom. And if you can sell some sort of monetization or preparedness supplies on the side as a result of all of this, there's definitely a selfish motive. So you see, in the case of someone like that, the worst thing that could happen to their channel would be peace and tranquility. So they're in the business of peddling fear and panic. No matter how much they say they're trying to help you, and they're trying to remind you to be calm, what they really get off on is selling fear. So where does this all take us? It takes us to a place where, if we're knowledgeable about our human nature, we should be willing to say we exist for our own purposes. We make no effort to say that we are intrinsically good. We make no effort to prove that our intentions are fundamentally honorable. We just live our lives. Now you see, if I live my life in a rational way, then I'm not going to harm my neighbors. I'm not going to be outlandishly cruel or do things which set me back. And usually the things that we do which are cruel or harmful or malicious are not the most rational path forward to success. So we can be selfish, openly so. And that doesn't mean that we're going to fall into some sort of trap of villainy and bad behavior. To the contrary, by being open about the fact that our primary purpose is our own advancement, our own happiness, our own satisfaction, we'll avoid the trap of pretending to be altruistic, pretending to care about others more than ourselves. And we bypass that disingenuous attitude which pretends to be benevolent while actually acting for its own selfish ends. And I also think that when we let go of that belief that we are fundamentally good, we're also a little bit more willing to be hard on ourselves, to make sure that we don't cross certain lines, because we know that even if we do good today, we're still capable of doing evil tomorrow. And so, knowing that there is evil within each of us, we can avoid acting on it because we know that it's possible. I've long held to the premise that people who are hurt are the most likely to hurt others, because people who believe that they are victims will always feel like they're justified in whatever they do to lash out or to seek retribution or to make up for past hurt. So even if they do harm, they'll still feel like they're the ones who are the victim. And the worst part about it is they won't be able to see their own actions because they can't see past their own pain. It's much better to stop making excuses, and also to avoid feeding into building up other people who really don't deserve our praise. We should view people on the level, but we shouldn't ever elevate people to the level of gods. We should look to ourselves, and we should be self-assured, but we should never allow ourselves to be so confident that we cannot remain humble enough to be uncertain that we are right. So wherever our journey takes us, let us always strive to be happy and humble, listening to others, but not taking ourselves or them too seriously. Till next time, thank you for watching.